Hey guys, Santoli here with Anthony Zhu, who managed to get to top 32 at YCS Pittsburgh, playing Blind Second Gem Knight, so deck's still alive. So how about you show us, what this deck turned into for this format?
Yep. So I got tops 32 with Gem Knights, got Blind Second. I went X3 in the tournament. I ended up losing to one Pure Mitsu round 3, one Mitsu Yummy round 11, shout out Christian Arena, and then I ended up losing to one Drago's Tail branded round 13. I beat all my other matchups. I mainly faced Yummy Mitsu and branded Drago's Tail. The deck, when I tested it, had a really good matchup into Yummy Mitsu and had a good matchup with like Mitsu cards in general, and it was the same thing with Nats. So I tried to run this deck back because I also stopped Nats with this deck. And it was just generally the thing I'm comfortable with, and I think it had really good matchups. Just some matchups I wanted to dodge, just mainly Malice. So let's get into the card choices. So the very obvious ones out of the way: 3 copies of Nephirim, 3 copies of Quartz, and 2 copies of Holocore. These, there's not really much to say about them. This is the best starter going first and second. This is the one of the best starters going second. It allows you to play around Droll going second. If your opponent Drolls you after this search, you can still kill them. And then this is your best extender, and this is your negate. The combo going first uses 2 copies of it, so we're still going to play 2. Sometimes I side down on 1. If you side going first, I sometimes side down on 1 of each. And then the not obvious one is Armadillo. So when I played at Nats, I only played 2 Armadillo because at that time the game plan was more towards having more non-engine to break the board than having enough engine to do anything else. But this card being a full combo going first and going second is very important now, because there's some decks that we cannot afford to go second against and we have to go first. So doing so, to free up some space on the side, we decided to play more Armadillo. I know in Master Duel we only play 1 copy of it, but circumstances we don't have 3 billion fusions, so we have to play 3 copies of Armadillo just for the consistency reasons. This is not really the best card you want to open, because Nephirim flows really well into Armadillo, but Armadillo flowing into Holocore still loses the 1 hand trap, which is unfortunate. But the 3 copies of Dispersion, full combo going first or second, 2 copies of Scatter, and 1 copy of Brilliant. You just want 3 of these in general. Ideally, if Brilliant is more than 1, you wouldn't play more than 1 of these. But yeah, these are all combo. And then the 1 brick, the only brick in the 40 card deck. This is why I like this deck so much. The deck has, as a 40 card deck, there's so many good starters. More than half of the starters are also extenders, so which is like so good. And then you only have 1 brick. There's no other deck in this format that can say they only have 1 card they don't want to draw in the deck, but this deck can. And then now to the non-engine. The hand traps, the main. I only played these in the main because these are the ones that are most impactful. This is mainly against the Mitsurugi decks, and then this is mainly against like all the other decks, Yummy, Malice, and Branded Drago's Tail. These obviously both of them are not that good versus Branded Drago's Tail, but versus Branded Drago's Tail, like there's other stuff for them. But these are generally the best ones. Everything else is too low impact in this format. And then the non-hand trap breakers, 3 copies of Droplet, 3 copies of Chalice. This is mainly for Drago's Tail. Chalice for Drago's Tail obviously is insane. So many of the games I won was because I could Chalice on their like whether or not on your turn where they go 5-mana out Ophelia Regis, or they 5-mana out a Chaos, you could just Chalice that, and that would be the last push. Or if they have the Albaz engine, they would Albaz at a crucial time. You just Chalice Albaz, and they pass on. They basically have nothing else. This is mainly to dodge Flame, and this is really good versus. This is also really good. Unironically, the reason why this card is so bad into Yummy is because of Herald. Because you can't send any monsters, so they can just negate it. But if you open both of these, you just hit this on Herald, and they have nothing else to do. It's unironically like so good. And then the 2 Salesman, 2 Tactics, 2 Lightning Storm. So the reason why I'm playing 2 of each of these is because these cards are all hard ones for turns, and the worst thing a Blind Second deck can do is brick on multiple copies of a card that you just can't activate. All of these are good to see, and I'm okay seeing any of these. These are all high impact breakers, but I never want to see more than 1. With the Droplet being the exception, because Droplet is, you can cost everything else. But these cards have chances to be bricky, and like most of these are only good going second. So I play 2/2 to side down, make siding down on them easier. And then the one-ofs, the one Duster, the one Talents for the thing, and then the one Called By, and then the one Imperm for the thrust. But in reality, never came up. I drew the Imperm once, and I didn't even activate it on turn 0. So it's like this could easily have been something else. Let's move to the side, up to the extra. So the standard one's out of the way, the 2 Phantom Quartz. You want the second one in case it's like as old when they imperm your first one when you search. You want to be able to go into a second one to go into Master Diamond Dispersion. You still have game anyway. Because a lot of the times when you start with Nephilim, it's Nephilim, Armadillo, Holocore. You have 3 bodies. And then one Seraphonite, and then the 3 you usually summon off of Dispersion, your main target off of Scatter, and then your Master Diamond and your Master Diamond Dispersion. This is obviously for your Topaz OTKs, and you can see there's a couple cards I chose to cut. Prismora and Lady Brilliant are not here because I had to dump down on the engine on the extra deck to fit some cards for my going first game plan. Prismora was the one that we found in Master Duel. We tested in Master Duel and we found Prismora really was not needed. A lot of the time, being able to pop a card it isn't really that necessary. And Lady Brilliant, although I really didn't want to cut it, she if you played correctly, you don't really need her. And then I think I talked with Brian and he played something similar, but he played Lady Brilliant and he sided one of the cards I have in the main instead to give the option to get Lady Brilliant. Obviously, SP/IP. SP is really good in this deck because in a lot of game states you don't have to attack directly. You can kill them after SP by just attacking into their things. And then the 4 cards that are needed for the combo: Gigantic Sprite, Sprite Sprint, this thing, and a bow. I'll talk more in depth when I get to the action deck. But all you need to know is these 4 are your main going first engine. They usually don't come up going second, and yeah. Let's put the thing on top. The thing. And then for side deck, 3 Ash Blossoms versus Dragotail. You want to be able to side this in, side out the Drolls, and this is really good versus Dragotail. It's really good versus everything else. Going first, if you decide to go first and they keep chumming them for some reason, you want to be able to do that. This against Malice, you can get to it in combo. So I played 1. I wanted to respect Malice. This for cats. It would just needed something else against that's good versus Yummy, and combined with the Follows, it gave you a lot more like high impact stuff you can side. And then 2 Italian AC for Dragotail. Don't want to see Dragotail. And then last but not least, 2 Vingolf Sanctuary, 1 Foolish Burial. People who play Gemini already know this is a starter. You can send Nephilim, and Nephilim is full combo. But you can also, I also ran these 3. Yeah, the win condition is this card. You get to it by going any 2 monsters into this, and then going to Abao, and then Abao reviving this, and then this plus your Seraphonite into Sprint. Sprint would dump this. This would banish Seraphonite to summon itself. It would dump your second Holocore, so you have 1 again on either player's turn. And then this is a 2, this is a 2. You would go into Gigantic. Gigantic would summon out Diviner. Diviner would bin the Christia, and your Abao would come back during the end phase. And because you have Gemini Fusion, Abao has infinite discards, and you would be able to summon this during your opponent's main phase during the first action, while protected by 2 Holocores. So let's say they have like 1 interaction on your turn, 1 interaction on his turn. It's still not enough. I can still get this out. And what's more is if I hard draw this alongside my other combos, like hard draw any of these alongside like another starter, the 2-card combo, I can forego this line entirely and go directly into the Abao, and then I just bin the Christia, and then I would have an opportunity to summon the Christia on my turn already. That helped me win a game because my opponent had Bell and Imperm, which in reality is 2 cards to stop me, but they had to Bell on my turn because I'm already forcing the first instance of Christia, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can just do it again on your turn. So yeah, this meshes so well. And the thing is, why is this so strong is because a lot of the times as Gem Knight going second, there's some decks that don't get interacted with by breakers that often. But if you just had more engine, you could push through their breakers. But you could push through whatever they had. And all 5 of these are 1-card combos. They're all engine. They're engine 1-card combos that you can side in for going second when your opponent's deck maybe isn't exactly accessible to whatever like, you know, like for example, Pyramitsu. Pyramitsu is a deck that like doesn't eat that many board breakers. You just wish you had more engine. But I would just side all 5 of these in against Pyramitsu, and I would crack their board and I would kill them every single time. Yeah. So, and that's the explanation. Overall, a couple shout-outs. The main shout-outs is to Ryan Yu and Brian Chen. Those two have... Brian Yu came up with the Christie idea, and then Brian has been testing Gem Knight with me forever. We topped together at Nats, and he put me on this idea. And also shout out to Chinese Discord. Shout out to Nezu and Kage. You guys are the best. And shout out to Santoli.
All right, thanks for profiling Kratz again on the top.
Mm-hmm.